is it fair to say we are seeing the two best teams in Europe meeting here in the semifinal on this side of the bracket?
It's not even a question. Everybody's saying this is the matchup of two absolutely magnificent football teams to watch, and the other semi-final is a dog of a game. Let's be brutally honest. You're talking chalk and cheese in terms of what these two bring, because the fluidity, the passing, the pressing, the individual skills that are on both sides, not just one side, both sides, is breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking. So, yeah, it's a magnificent game of football. I just hope it delivers. And the truth is, I can't see how it doesn't, because neither of these two can play any other way.
Right.
It's not, neither of these managers say, right, Vincent Kompany's not going to say, right, we're going to shut up shop, we'll keep it tight and, you know, sit in a low block. It's not going to happen. So this will deliver. This 100% will.
Maybe before the transfer window, we would have said that the two best teams in Europe are Arsenal and Bayern Munich.
We said it many times.
And it switched on its head. It turned on its head really in January, February, when things started getting a little tougher for Arsenal. The defense was where they were kind of holding their own and being the best team in Europe. As far as defensively is concerned, that's not the case anymore. But I will ask you this question, Geoff. Are they still better than Bayern Munich and PSG as far as that back line is concerned? At this point?
Well, really, then you're just looking at the back line. You look at the defences, and again, look at the fullbacks that PSG have. Again, I'd look at the fullbacks. If anything, you would possibly argue, and I'm not even going to use weakness. You can't say that about either of these teams, but the centre-back pairings, older and maybe not. I don't think are as mobile as Arsenal's centre-back pairing. So I say maybe Arsenal's centre-back pairing is better, but their fullbacks aren't as good.
Sure.
All right. We've got some storylines for all of you to watch for in this game. And Steph, you're going to kick us off with the one that you have your eye on.
Yeah, it's perfect. I just set up Geoff to say it for me because it's beautiful. I'm talking about the back lines and how, for me, it's about which one of these two back lines can survive this tie by containing what you're talking, the two best attacks in world football. I think that's the biggest storyline. I think they're going to see a lot of goals in both of these matches. The tie could end something like a 6-5, in my opinion, because despite the players that they have at fullback and at center back, the attacks are just too good. And for me, that's going to be the biggest storyline. Which defense, which back line can survive the best against these two top attacks? And I think that's where the game will ultimately be won.
Survive is a good way to put it. In particular, I think defensive transition is going to be very, very important to be even more granular. Where are these teams turning the ball over in attack? Because both teams send a lot of numbers forward, but both teams spring really, really fast. So where will the pieces be when the ball is turned over?
Right.
All right.
For me, I want to see how PSG handle Bayern's press, because they press all over the pitch. They press high for turnovers to create situations. They break fast, as we know, but their press starts with their centre-backs. You often see them push right into midfield. You'll see their defenders go deep into the opposition's other half to stay with a man as well. How do PSG spring round that? Because, of course, that high press, a la Barcelona, it's not exactly the same. That does leave space in behind. And also, Vincent Kompany is very happy to leave players one-on-one in a defensive situation, which most coaches will say to you is a never-never. Always have 2 for 1. He's happy to go one-on-one. Can they exploit that? I think, for me, that's one of yet another of the intriguing subjects. And can I just add the caveat? Everything we've said here sounded like experts. You know now, this will be a dog of a game, 0-0, and Arsenal will lead a thrilling 6-4 victory.
But Bogert, when we're talking about the midfield, I mean, don't you think the combination of Vitinha and João Neves is like the perfect combination to handle all of that? And having had the experience in this competition last season going all the way as well?
Yeah, that's the point. One of the points of strength for PSG, but I think particularly in this matchup is who can control the midfield and control possession to limit those defensive transition opportunities, to dictate the terms on which the game is played. And when you have Vitinha, I don't care who you're playing in the world, you take that group ahead. So if Vitinha plays world class, which he very often does, that will go a long way for PSG, I think, because that'll give them more and more opportunities. That being said, Bayern Munich, they create a ton, but they don't need a ton to get the goals. So this is a fascinating time.
There's so many great matchups to watch.
I just don't see much sort of shadow boxing for the first 30 minutes. I don't see them sort of feeling each other out. I don't think they'll be gung-ho because they're too good for that, but they'll be front foot.
All right, Geoff, what storyline are you watching for?
Well, the press. I want to see how they handle it, what they do. And talk about the Bayern press. Can PSG set traps? What can they do? So if they're being pressed tight, will they go long? But they're not just going to go aimlessly long. They'll look for a get out. But the problem with the press is you often eliminate targets for people to put the ball into. But as I said just now, with a high press, you'll leave isolated, which if you go long and get some joy and look at the pace they have, particularly on the wings, could be an outlet.
But you know what's crazy? We've been talking all of these tactics and battles all over the field. We haven't even mentioned Harry Kane. We haven't even mentioned Ousmane Dembele. I mean, those are the types of players who, no matter what happens in the game, you give them one moment, one look in front of goal, and it can completely turn a tie on its head.
Without a doubt. I mean, we're talking about, like we mentioned before, it's the reigning Ballon d'Or winner and the Ballon d'Or favorite right now in Harry Kane. You can't leave out Kvaratskhelia, who's been incredible, especially the last month or 2 months of the season and in the Champions League. These, again, we'll reiterate, these two attacks are box office. You must watch. It's the front four for Bayern Munich, Olise, Musiala, Diaz, and Kane, and how much they disrupt what any team is trying to do. Again, I agree with you, Tom, as far as Vitinha. He is built for this. But even him, against these four and that back line, they're gonna struggle to keep the ball out of the net, and because this team is too good. We saw it just this past weekend. Vincent Kompany decides to rest some of his stars. They go down 3-0. They bring them all on in the second half, and they win the game 4-3. Like, that's what they're able to do. Won't be as easy against PSG, but they still have the ability. They can score on anyone.
I just thought of something. PSG could get KO'd, couldn't they? Kane, Olise, Diaz.
Wow.
Love that.
We've talked so much about this game. First of all, just your reaction to everything that the guys have been talking about at the desk. How do you see this one playing out?
This feels like one of those games where the entire world is all saying the same thing. So let's go ahead and bet correct score 0-0 at plus 2,000. Get that out of the way right now. Nothing happened, nothing exciting. Like Geoff said, Arsenal take that 6-4. Do what you want here in this game. I do agree with what everything's been said, though, in all seriousness. Goals everywhere. Both teams to score in this game is minus almost 400 right now. It is absolutely ridiculous odds everywhere. And I think there's a reason for that. I do think we're going to see goals on both ends of the pitch and everywhere in between here, guys.
All right. What do you guys think? That's, I mean, yeah. Sounds about right.
And it's coming from the Bayern Munich fan as well. Coming from the Bayern Munich fan who's...
Yeah. So having said we're right about everything, any danger of you telling us what we should be betting on?
Always danger in me telling you what to bet on, but I'm still going to give you guys 3 bets here. I've got a fun one. I've got my totally not biased Bayern Munich bet, and I've got what I call the Geoff Shreeves parlay. So we're going to have some fun here today, guys, but starting with the fun bet. Like I mentioned, both teams to score is not really playable right now, but what is playable is both teams to score in the first half of this match at plus 200 or 3.0 decimal odds here. There was a great quote, and I should know how to pronounce his name. I even texted Jelani to make sure I got this right, from Von Nistelrooy, in which he said that goals are like a bottle of ketchup. And he talked about how they don't always happen. It can be hard to come by, but when it does happen, it all happens at once. So I'm going to tell you how this game's going to play out using a prop here. We're going to see nothing for the first 10 minutes. And after that first 10 minutes, people online are going to start chirping, saying, everyone was wrong, Bayern Munich can't score, PSG's too good, this. And then before the 20th minute, Michael Olise, in a moment of brilliance, he's going to take that ketchup bottle, he's going to open it, and the goals are going to flow all over the pitch here, guys. I absolutely love both teams to score in the first half of this match. For bet number 2, my non-biased, that was all over my desk. I missed my napkin I set up, so that kind of sucks. We'll deal with that later. Bet number 2.
Looks like Bogert has got a lot better sources than you, mate.
Oh, man. All right, I got to do this. I got to get through this. Bet number 2. I'm so nervous. The Bayern Munich bet. Bayern Munich over 1.5 team total on this matchup is minus 110. It's almost even money for Bayern Munich to score 2 goals. I personally am not brave enough, not strong enough, not handsome enough to take Bayern Munich on the money line, but I do love them to get 2 or more goals in this first leg. I agree with what Geoff said. This is the kind of matchup where you're not going to all of a sudden switch tactics and play cagey, defensive, park the bus. Bayern Munich physically don't know how to do that. They have scored 2 or more goals in 19 19 of their last 20 matches across all competitions, and they've done it in every UCL fixture this season except one in which they lost to Arsenal and only scored once. They scored 6 against Atalanta on the road, 2 against Real Madrid on the road. They're not going to park the bus. They're not going to sit back. They know they're not going to keep a clean sheet, so they got to press for multiple goals here. Love Bayern to get 2 at -110. And then finally, the Geoff Shreeves parlay. Jeff, I know that you don't get out of bed for anything less than 5-1 odds here, so I got you a +800, 8-1 odds parlay, including 4 different players on the pitch. This has to fit the narrative that we're going to see a lot of goals here, but I've got 4 different guys contributing to a goal in either the form of a goal or assist. Ousmane Dembele to score or assist. He's coming off a brace against Liverpool. When he's in form, he's an absolute menace, and he is going to devastate that back line. Harry Kane to score or assist. Don't need to say anything else. It's Harry Kane. Kavica Kvaratskhelia to score or assist. He's done it in 5 Champions League matches straight and 10 times in his last UCL 8 matches. And then Michael Olise to score or assist. If all 4 of these guys, which could happen in just 2 goals, do contribute to a goal, that's 8-1 odds here, guys. A nice little steak dinner for everyone watching at home.
Hey, Buckets, I got to say, all that ketchup on your desk would go really nice with like some hash browns or something. And if I'm remembering correctly, you said if your Real Madrid bets didn't hit, you drive out here and give us breakfast. So grab that ketchup, get in the car. We're waiting. We're hungry.
We'll see you guys in 9 hours. It might be a little late, but we'll get there.
You can be in time for tomorrow morning's breakfast. Yeah, thanks.
All right. Hey, Buckets, one more thing. I hear that you and our buddy Ian Joy are going to have a fun watch-along happening for the games on YouTube. Can you tell us about that real quick?
Yeah, the word fun might not be right depending on how this match plays, but I will be with Ian Joy live betting and doing a watch along on the Golazo YouTube channel. So make sure you check that out, guys. It'll be Ian screaming for 90% of the game and then me going, "Hey Ian, I think that PSG might score here." So kind of trying to interrupt there, but it's going to be a good time. So make sure you don't miss that coverage starting at 2 over there on Paramount Plus.
Buckets, Buckets, I've got a bet for you. You can get plus 1,500. You speak for more than 30 seconds in that YouTube.
That's an enticing.
That's a good odds. I'll take that. As someone who does scoreline often with Ian Joy, that's a very good bet.
All right, looking forward to watching that. Buckets, great stuff as always, my friend, and be sure to tune in today to all of the action.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount Plus.